Good afternoon, card community. It is RJ, and it is time for the Sunday Trivia Recap. Hooray! Loud cheers, applause, mass hysteria, snowballs breaking out in the middle of downtown. All kinds of insanity going on, mostly because it's so dang cold out where I am. We're all huddled around the fire and going stir crazy. Anyway, we still have lots of time for great trivia and some awesome prizes to give away, so let's get to it. Okay, so still working on Hall of Fame trivia questions and stuff like that, mostly because it's still Hall of Fame season. A lot of talk about who is going to get into the Hall of Fame. There's a lot of contenders out there, a lot of possible electees. I'm not going to speculate. Enough people have speculated. I'm hoping for a couple Phillies to make it. I don't know to what extent they will. I know Chase Utley was showing strong at the moment. Jimmy Rollins a little less, so that makes me sad. I think Jimmy Rollins is a better choice for the Hall of Fame than Chase Utley. That's just me. And then Billy Wagner, who at one time was a Philly, just briefly for a couple of years. He is also in a trajectory to get him in. So hopefully we'll have a few more Phillies to add to my... I actually have a separate place where I keep cards of Hall of Famers who are Phillies. So, or whoever played for the Phillies. I got a little stash of cards there. Anyway, let's get to the trivia. So Monday's question. The question was... of the players with the most career wins, of those pitchers who have the most career victories, career wins, who is the player with the most career victories not in the Hall of Fame? There's a very obvious answer to most people, but I will go to the stat board so you can see. Here is the list of career victory leaders. Cy Young, obviously Hall of Famer. Walter Johnson, Hall of Famer. Grover Cleveland Alexander and Christy Mathewson were tied. Obviously, both Hall of Famers. Pud Galvin, one of those little-known Hall of Famers, but he is in the Hall of Fame. Warren Spahn, Hall of Fame. Kid Nichols, Hall of Fame. Greg Maddux, Hall of Fame. Roger Clemens. That's right. Roger Clemens, due to his alleged steroid abuse. I will say alleged. I'll let you guys hash that out. He has been denied entry into the Hall of Fame because of the writers. Will he get in by the Veterans Committee? I do not know. This is his 1993 Fleer Ultra card, still showing him with the Red Sox. But Roger Clemens was the answer to that trivia question. He has 354 career victories. He is number 9th on that list, as you can see right there. So he was your answer. What you're playing for is this really cool card of Bryce Harper. This is from 2021 Topps. It is a 1952 style throwback from Topps Chrome. It is the Chrome version of that card. Very shiny shine. Not serial numbered, but pretty cool. Bryce Harper card. If you're a big fan of Bryce Harper. Who isn't, right? I mean, come on now. Who isn't? Anyway, so the individuals on the screen here were kind enough to throw out a guess. I want to scroll down so you can take a moment and see that your name is on here if you did throw out a guess. So there you go. We will shuffle once and spin. You must hit 3 times during this effort in order to win. I do that on my channel because so very few people enter. I only got 12 people enter. I like to draw out the suspense a little, give everybody a better shot at winning. So you must hit 3 times. So good luck to everybody on this spin. Here we go. All right. I'm very much looking for the Hall of Fame. Again, there's several worthy contenders. You know, several players worthy of Hall of Fame induction this year. I do know I've heard from a number of different quote-unquote experts doing their ballot that, you know, it's looking that it'll at least be, you know, definitely at least one, but a lot of people are speculating that it's going to be a few. Whether that's 3, 4, 10, I don't know, but there are several people who are tracking to make the haul. So, you know, all I can say, since I have obviously Philly favorites. The Phillies are who I'm tracking most of all, but, you know, I like to add to my Hall of Fame collection. For those of you who have seen some of my previous videos, I am trying to collect at least one card of every member of the Hall of Fame, and it does not have to be a playing era card. In fact, most of the cards I have in my binder of Hall of Famers are later issues, mostly because I want to have career stats of those Hall of Famers on the back of the card. So it's usually like a Topps Archives card or something like that I use in my Hall of Fame set. So it's not always a playing era card. You know, I'm not going to throw a third-year Mike Schmidt card in there. Oh, hey, Mike Schmidt. Speaking of Mike Schmidt, Mike, the Hot Corner, he is a Philly fan, such as myself. Much more of a TTMer, but I'm sure he'll appreciate this cool Bryce Harper card. So congrats to you, Mike. I actually have a shout out to Mike coming up this week because I finally gotten around to showing off the Christmas gift he got for me. Mike, that's coming up. I'll have a shout out for you that day. Moving on to day number 2, we're Wednesday. So Wednesday's question was same thing. Of those players in the Hall of Fame, let me put it this way. Of those players who hit a lot of home runs, somebody out there has a lot of home runs. Of all the players who have a lot of career home runs, who has the most career home run total, but is not a member of the Hall of Fame? Now, I didn't even bother to tap the record books on this one because everybody knows dang well who it is. It is Barry Bonds, because he has 700, and I'm going to mess this up. I want to say 768. I might be I might be off there, but he's got like over 700. He beat Hank Aaron in career totals. He is the leader in career home runs, but he is not in the Hall of Fame. He has been shunned, just like Roger Clemens, due to his steroid use. I'm not even going to say a legend with Bonds, because you could just look at the man and knew he was doing it. This is his 1993 Fleer Ultra card as well. And, you know, he finished with the most career home runs of anybody in Major League Baseball from the U.S. And unfortunately, he's not in the Hall of Fame because the writers are shunning him. Will he eventually get in by the Baseball Veteran Committee? Who knows? You never know with them. But that was your answer. The prize you're playing for, really cool card from 2023 Archives, the doubleheader card of Rafael Devers and Wade Boggs. So, you know, 89 doubleheader number 7. It's the 89 style doubleheader because player on front and back. Card number 7 of that little insert series. That is what you're playing for. Individuals up on the screen here were kind enough to throw out a guess. Mike over at the Hot Corner did not throw out a guess, so I do not need to eliminate him because you could only win once a week on my channel. So Mike's out for any future thing. But again, as before, we'll shuffle once and spin. Got to hit 3 times. Good luck to everybody on this one. But yeah, I got a lot of cool things to show off this week. I did allude to some of it in some of the videos I filmed earlier. I'm working on one of my PSA set registries, and unfortunately for me, PSA threw me a bit of a curveball. That video is coming out on Friday, so if you want to see what happened, check out Friday's video. Plus, I got a little highlight. I'll tell you, I got a nice. I spent a couple bucks and got an important card that is part of one of my PSA set registries. I remember I said I'm working on 3 this year, but I'm not sure because of what happened with that one PSA registry set, if I'm going to spend time getting the 1960 Golden Press, start that effort, I don't know. Well, that was quick. Card collector, 65JW. Congrats to you, sir. I'm pretty sure I still have your address from before. If it has changed, let me know. But this card will be heading your way, sir. All right. Moving on to Friday. Friday, same kind of question. Of those players who have the highest career batting averages, who has the highest batting average for their career but is not in the Hall of Fame? Now, interesting, a lot of people threw out a certain guest right away. Several people said another individual, and I'm going to, just raise it two reasons. So let's look at it. Who has the highest career batting averages but is not in the Hall of Fame? Now, here we are. Ty Cobb is in the Hall of Fame. Oscar Charleston, an Negro League star, is in the Hall of Fame. I'm going to stop right there for one reason. A couple of years ago, Major League Baseball decided to start listing the stats of Negro League players in the career leader, in the leader books. Now, there's a lot of debate over whether that's proper or not. Now, obviously, those people who were in the Negro Leagues were barred from playing in the major leagues for a long time. Certainly some of the more recent ones, Hank Aaron, Jackie Robinson, Roy Campanella, several other players were able to bridge that gap and are in the Hall of Fame for their major league statistics. But there is no question that those from the Negro Leagues were denied the opportunity. So the question is, why wouldn't you put their stats on there? And it's not because they're inferior, or the quality of the play was inferior, or the quality of the opponents was inferior. What was the problem is that whereas the major leagues, for the most part, were a very organized league, you had a set schedule, the teams were organized, and everything was, consistent. The Negro League stats that you see, unfortunately, a lot of the stats that are given were outside of league play. Those players in the Negro Leagues, that was their livelihood. Baseball, too, to some degree, but the white players in baseball made a lot of their money on side gigs. They worked in the off-season. They worked at various jobs. For the Negro Leaguers, that's how they made their money. When they weren't playing baseball in America, most of the time they went south into the Caribbean and played ball down in Mexico or the Caribbean. Baseball was their livelihood. It was their main way to make a decent living, was to play baseball. And what you find is that a lot of the stats, I don't know of any statistician that took the time to just develop stats for the league play and to consider whether or not Josh Gibson, people say Josh Gibson hit 800 home runs or more. Well, that's considering every barnstorming team he ever did play on, playing in other leagues other than the Negro National Leagues or American Leagues, playing in Mexico, the Caribbean, barnstorming. It's just if he ever hit a home run. Well, I can't imagine how many home runs Babe Ruth would have hit if you counted all of his barnstorming things, spring training games or whatever. You're just not comparing apples to apples and whatnot. So I'm one who feels that I'm glad they're giving the Negro Leaguers a nod in some way of listing their stats, but I don't believe the career stats are comparable to major leaguers simply because of their the nature of the way the leagues unfolded and the way the Negro League players played games. You may dispute that. You may disagree vehemently. Probably career batting average is probably the best one you could say, because again, it doesn't matter where you hit it or who you hit it against. Well, again, if they're counting a lot of barnstorming games in here, a lot of games from Mexico or the Caribbean, there is some question about the comparable skill level. But again, I'll let other people do that. It still doesn't have it doesn't have an effect on this question because Oscar Charleston is still in the Hall of Fame. But I just wanted to talk to you about that, my own feelings about that subject for a split second. Next one is Roger Hornsby, clearly in the Hall of Fame. Then you get down here to Joe Jackson. Joe Jackson, number 4 on the list. Now, you could say Joe Jackson's not in the Hall of Fame. He's not. But he also, thing is, he was barred from being in the Hall of Fame. That's why he isn't in the Hall of Fame. So is Joe Jackson the answer? Judd Wilson is in the Hall of Fame. Then you have Lefty O'Doul. So I had a lot of people say Joe Jackson. Here's the card. Joe Jackson. This one came from a little box set I bought at the Joe Jackson Museum down in Greenville, South Carolina. And it's part of a box set of 20 artist cards produced in 2021 as a fundraiser. Joseph Jefferson Jackson. He's number 4 on your list. Frank Joseph Lefty O'Doul. This is his 1988 Conlon collection. Baseball Immortals. This set released in 1988. Lefty O'Doul was a great player for the Phillies and Giants, a couple other teams, I believe, he kicked around with. Very, very good player who deserves some Hall of Fame consideration, but never did get it. So either Joseph Jefferson Jackson, he is primarily who I would say was the answer to that question. Although those people who say Lefty O'Doul have a bit of a leg to stand on because Joe Jackson isn't even eligible for the Hall of Fame due to his involvement, so to speak, in the 1919 Black Sox scandal. Anyway, the prize you're playing for on that one, really cool card here. Juan Soto. This is from the 2023 Archives set. It is like kind of like a red shimmer parallel, and it is numbered, if you look down here, numbered to 50, 39 out of 50. So that is what you are playing for on that one. So let's go to the wheel. We're going to go through here. I'm going to let you take a look. A couple newbies, one newbie on here, Jefferson Yoder, a man who did participate in a lot of my trivia questions early in my YouTubing. Haven't seen him in a while, but he's back here and there once in a while. So welcome back, Jefferson Yoder. We do have Hot Corner is out, because you could only win once a week on my channel, and it's Card Collector. So Card Collector 65JW did not throw out a guess on this one. So we will leave it as it is. Good turnout, 15 or 13 people on this one. Shuffle once and spin. Good luck to everybody on this one. So yeah, I got Friday's video is going to show off some of the things I'm very upset with. But Monday and Tuesday, Monday and Wednesday, mail day, great cards I got from people in the card community. Still going through the Christmas packages. And then going over some things I got off the bay. I'm working on completing my run of every box set ever made. Still working on that. Up to about 1980, almost done 1989 now, and you'll see that on, I think, Wednesday's video. So just let you know some of the cool things coming up, and always, as always, showing off some great Mike Schmidt and random cards, and as always, having some great trivia like we're doing right now. There you go, Jefferson Yoder, you got one hit. Yeah, it's one hit for Jeff. All right. I'm looking forward to, excuse me, there is, one other thing I wanted to say, and I'll put a link below. If anybody is local to the Bucks County, Pennsylvania area, all right, or Montgomery County, Pennsylvania area, Eric Kratz, former Philly Eric Kratz, will be making an appearance. It's a ticketed event at a local church in this area. They're having a men's breakfast next Saturday, so 6 days from today. I will include a link to that event in my description below, and you can check it out. I'm going to go. I'm hoping there's a way to get autographs. The information contained on the event advertisement doesn't mention a time for autographs or whether he'll be giving out autographed copies of his book or what have you. There's no listing on that, but the event is there. $25 to appear up here in Souderton, Pennsylvania. Again, I'll check the link below if you want to come, if you want to show up. I'm going to send an email to a couple local guys that I have reminding them directly that it's available for them to show up. But thought that'd be something interesting. We have hit 3. Jefferson Yoder, welcome back. You just hit your 3rd time, sir. So congrats to you. You will be getting this awesome Juan Soto card. Hope you're a fan. There you have it. That's all I have for you today. If you liked that video, please consider subscribing, commenting, and all that jazz. I really do appreciate it. Appreciate you stopping by. You got a lot of other things to do you can do with your time. So thank you for spending a little bit of it with me. Come back again this coming week. Like I said, we got great things to show off, great trivia prizes again to give out. Working up, March is the first Philly show of the year, so working up to that. Hope to see us a couple guys there, reconnect. Yeah, that's all I have for you today. Got to get ready. Got dinner with some friends tonight at the Jackson abode, but that's all I have for you today. Have a great week. Take care.